I want to ask you a question. What's your single biggest expense? Yeah, your single biggest expense throughout your lifetime. Some people might reply, well, food or rent, you know, something like that. But actually, for most people, their biggest expense, their single biggest expense throughout life is taxes. Yeah, the tax that you pay. In my experience, when I say that taxes is your biggest expense, some people, they get very defensive and about the whole thing, and they will say, well, if we didn't pay taxes, we wouldn't have any schools or roads or hospitals or gravity. We would just float off the planet. We would have anarchy. and okay, I'll get to that. My education, in case you wonder, is in economics. So I feel that I kind of have a good grasp of these concepts. Now, here's a beautiful stream behind me. Can you see that? This woodland here will most likely be chopped down. All the trees will be carried off and made into wood pellets because it's so environmentally friendly, apparently. So, okay, let's walk this way. A tax-based economy works like this. I'll explain by using an example. So if I walk in that direction, I'll get to the coast. And if I jump aboard my boat and go south, I will get to an area where they will be building wind turbines off the coast. And I looked into that. It will never be profitable, that project. It's impossible. But still, that's what they're going to do. So how can they do that when it will never be profitable? I mean, which company would get into such a deal? It's insanity, right? Well, it's profitable to the company because they get paid by the state, by our government, and then they move to some other project, possibly in some other country. And when I say they get paid by the state, by our government, what that means is that they take taxpayers' money to pay that company. That's essentially how a tax-based economy works. And we are seeing more and more of that. Let's say there's a war in a distant country. Well, your fine politicians will decide that we will pour weapons into that country and support this one side here. We will give them the weapons. The company making the weapons will need to get paid. Again, your government takes your money and gives to the company. So to all these companies, it's very profitable. It's big business. We are seeing more and more of that, and we're going to see a lot more in the future. These people, they found a way to get hold of your money, and you have no say because your politicians, they don't care. We are witnessing the death of democracy and the dawn of the corporate state. And the corporate state is walking hand in hand with big international corporations globalist organizations and people who believe that they should rule the world, actually. Stakeholder economy. Klaus Schwab, the World Economic Forum. Look it up. I know you probably have already. But the stakeholder economy concept is closely linked to what I'm talking about here now. When I look at the present monetary system and the present system as a whole that we are living in, I would say, you know what? This looks like a trap. It's promising a lot. It's promising happiness. Just buy this. Oops. Bit of a twig there. It's promising happiness. Just buy this new smartphone or this new car, you know, then you'll be happy. Just consume a little bit more, because you know these corporations, they want you to be a consumer, not an owner, and there's a difference there. They don't want you to own things, they want you to consume things. And to do that, you must be a part of the system. You must work, pay your taxes, and keep going like that until you die. Now, I will gladly pay taxes so that we can have great schools with great teachers, so that those who are less fortunate than I am can have a decent life. Of course. And we need to maintain our roads, of course. But if you look at the numbers, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. We could do all of those things while paying far less in taxes than we do now. But people have become conditioned to think that, well, we just have to pay all this, you know, it's otherwise nothing would work. But no, that's not correct. So, having said that, what are we going to do? I mean, at least in my country, here in Norway, it doesn't really matter which political party you vote for. And I actually did not vote last time, because they're all basically going to keep the taxes at a very high level. I believe that the solution, and the only solution, is to move as many parts as possible of your life out of the present monetary system. That means growing your own food. That means possibly building your own house. It means maybe for some people in some countries becoming a nomad. We must detach from the system as much as possible, because the alternative is not acceptable. Look at this. We had some storms during the winter. And I'll just lay out what the future is going to look like if we just keep going like this, if we just keep accepting what's happening now. The taxes will be increased further, and the taxes will make it virtually impossible to save up money and become financially independent. Now, that depends a little bit, I should say, on your age. If you're now 20, yes, that's your reality. I'm 51 and I have saved up money, and I just think it's so unfair. You know, everyone should have that opportunity to become financially independent. If you work hard, if you're not foolish with your spending. You know, you should be able to do that. You should be able to buy your own house without ending up as someone who's desperately in debt. Debt? That's a funny word. Why is there a B there? You know, seriously. I wouldn't go as far as saying it should be a human right to have your own house, but you know, I'm tempted. I would say almost. It's about dignity. It is about independence, and yeah. But the way things are moving now, no. You pay taxes on everything. Everything you buy, everything you earn, everything you own, and it just adds up, and it becomes too much, you know. But I think we all understand where this is heading, because it has been laid out for us already. These people are not even trying to hide it. You will own nothing and you will be happy, or else. That's what they're saying, you know. But no, that's not happiness. You will not find happiness in your 15-minute city or 20-minute neighborhood and owning nothing, renting everything. That's not how things are supposed to be. This is a part of my local woodland here that, you know, I don't often come here, but it's beautiful here. Yeah. And it reminds me of another concept that I have talked about a lot here on this channel: freedom. And you know what? If you own nothing, people say then, oh, you're free. But we do need to own something. And if you're renting everything, you're basically a serf. S-E-R-F. Then we're basically living in a feudalistic system. I'm walking back to the path. I have this internal compass that usually works quite well. But okay. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy one of the other videos, and they should pop up here on the end screen. If you're not already a subscriber to this channel, please consider subscribing. It would help this channel tremendously if you do that. Now, okay, that's all for now. Have a wonderful day, and as always, stay strong.